Ready and go. All right, so this morning we're going to be doing a perfect eggs Benedict. All right, it requires hollandaise sauce. It requires some English muffin. I'm actually using a bagel that I have in my toaster right now. I'm actually going to use a little bit of wilted spinach leaves as well. So I have the spinach here, over here, and I'm going to get a pan on low so that I can just wilt some spinach leaves super fast a little bit later. Okay. I also have some water going for the hollandaise sauce. So the hollandaise sauce, again, it's very similar to what we did when we were making the vinaigrette, the emulsified vinaigrette. It's the same principle. It's the same concept, right? You need a whisk, agitation. I'm going to use my emulsifying agent, which in this case is going to be my eggs. I have my clarified butter, which I just literally heated up in a pot to melt the butter, and then I skimmed off the salts off the top, and then I have a little bit of milk fat solids on the bottom, so I skimmed off only the butter fat and I left the milk fat solids on the bottom, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start, right? So I'm going to take a tiny bit of water and I'm going to add it to my egg yolks right here, just maybe a couple teaspoons full, not much, just to get it going a little bit, right? Again, if you want it to be a little thinner, you could add a little more there. Remember, we're going to add a little bit of liquid later on. We add a lemon juice, right? But salt and water is what's going to help, right? So save the questions till the end, but put them in the chat right now, because we're going to do the Zoom video and we're also going to do the YouTube video at the same time, right? So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up. Now you can see how the eggs are mixing up there well, and I'm going to go ahead and make a decision to add a tiny bit more water. Okay, again, from the experience, I want to make sure that I have enough water. Remember with the vinaigrette, the water, that conducts the electricity, right, which changes the polarity of it, right? So the clarified butter is positively electrically charged, the egg yolks are positively electrically charged, and the water is going to change the polarity of the oil as it hits. It's going to flip, right? But what we need to do with this one, unlike the vinaigrette, is we need to cook the eggs a little bit. So when you're cooking the eggs, you gotta be right on it. You can't move. You gotta keep going. And then you can also, if it gets too hot, you can move it off. So you control it. Don't let it control you, right? You don't want to make scrambled eggs here, right? So we're just gonna keep going so you can whip it. If you guys could do me a favor and go on mute. Thanks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring that up to about 185 degrees. All right, that will just begin to coagulate those egg yolks a little bit and change them a little bit, right? So then, first of all, they'll be safe. They'll be safe. Oliver, you can go on mute, please. Thanks, buddy. All right, so now I have it, and the egg yolks are nice and cooked there. Okay, I'm going to take a towel. Grab a towel real quick. And I'm going to take that towel, I'm going to get it a little bit wet. Just get it a little bit damp there. And then I'm going to just take the corner and I'm going to make a little bowl koozie here, right? And that's going to hold my bowl, right? So let me just make sure I get it nice and warm again. All right. So I've gone ahead, I've cooked my eggs. I have my warm clarified butter sitting nearby. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the warm clarified butter in a slow, steady stream. But I'm going to add a drop first, like maybe a half a teaspoon first. And I'm going to mix, and literally going to mix for at least 30 seconds before I begin. That's going to begin that emulsification process. That's one of the keys, right? So you got salt, you got a little bit of water in there, you got egg yolks in there, and now we're going to add our clarified butter. Now, as we add our clarified butter, the sauce is going to get thicker, right? This is one of our 5 mother sauces, right? So this is going to get thicker. I'm probably not going to add all this butter. For this amount of butter, for the proper ratio, it's about 6 ounces of butter, 4 to 6 ounces of butter per yolk, right? So I have 2 yolks. I want to make mine a little bit eggier because we're actually serving it with eggs. So again, it's a little different than if I was going to use it as a mother sauce to add tarragon reduction to it and make a béarnaise sauce or whatever. All right, notice how nice and thick it gets, right? Again, you're going to get it a little bit over thick because we're going to add the lemon juice, right? We're going to add the lemon juice. All right? You can add a little bit of Tabasco. You can add a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. It's up to you. All right, but you can see that it is getting thicker as we go, right? So you can see how thick it is now. I'm gonna add just a little bit more even. Make enough for about 5 portions maybe. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more salt. I added some salt already, so be careful. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. Again, a little Tabasco is a trick of the trade if you want to use it so that you don't have those little black specks in there, or the red specks from the cayenne pepper, but I don't mind a little bit of specks in there. So, all right, so look at how thick it is. So if you can see how thick it is, it's really super thick now, right? It's, all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to add a little bit of lemon, right? So a little lemon in there. Good tablespoon of lemon for this much, right? Make it nice and lemony. Especially considering the fact that I'm going to serve it with wilted spinach leaves. We're not going to do the traditional Canadian bacon on this one. We're going to do the wilted spinach leaves, all right? So now I have it. I'm going to go ahead and taste it. Make sure it tastes good. So it's, wow, it's tasting perfect. I don't need to touch it. It's tasting perfect. What I'm going to do is keep this nearby in a nice warm area. All right, I'm going to keep it right next to my, right next to where I'm poaching the eggs, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I have some more water here, and I'm going to add that. Let me grab a towel here. I'm going to add that warm water to my boiling water here. All right, and then I'm going to add some salt, and I'm going to add some vinegar. Now, for this much, it's about 2 quarts of water. I'm going to add, I don't know, 4 tablespoons of vinegar. Right there. All right, 4 tablespoons of vinegar. All right, give that a little bit of mix around. All right, and then I'm going to poach my eggs. Now, the way I want to poach my eggs, I like to crack the egg into a small dish, and then I lower the dish. I'll lower this down a little bit. You want it to be right below a boil. Right? And then I'm going to just drop my egg right in there. You don't want to drop it from up here. You want to drop it from nice and low. And as you drop it, you lift straight up. Right? And I'm going to do 3 just to make sure I have 2 perfect ones. 2. We talked about it earlier, how breakfast is the most important meal of the day if you're a chef, especially if you are maybe an executive chef at a fine dining hotel or whatever, right? It is the most important meal of the day. A lot of your guests and clientele, they get up in the morning, they're a little cranky. You know, you've got to make it perfect so that you really meet and exceed those expectations. Over here I have a little bit of oil in a pan, and I'm going to wilt some spinach leaves, just like that. I'm going to put those, right, add a little bit of butter to that, a little salt, a little pepper, all right. I have a plate nearby. Grab my plating gloves. I have my toast here. Again, this is a small bagel. Again, traditionally it's done with an English muffin, right? And I have my impeccably clean towel nearby. Okay? That's super important for this dish. You need an impeccably clean towel. All right, I'm going to take these wilted spinach leaves and just nestle them on top of the toast. Now, you can do this with smoked salmon. You can do it with traditional, smoked bacon. You can do it with, again, it's traditional with Canadian bacon. So, right, so I like it. This way, your lacto-ovo vegetarians are happy, right? And if you're not using pork products, a lot of other of your clientele are very happy as well. All right, and then we're going to take a spoon that has a small slotted section, right? So you have this slotted section of the spoon, and then I'm going to reach in and I'm going to grab my poached egg. My poached egg has been in here about, what has it been? Maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. I want to lift it up. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to take a visual view of it. I'm going to say, you know what, this is nice. It's coagulated. The egg white is coagulated around the yolk. The yolk is now still runny a little bit. And I'm going to take it right and put it right into my beautiful towel that is impeccably clean, right? And then I have my poached egg. So you can see the poached egg here, right? And then we're going to nestle that right on top of our spinach here, right? We're going to do it again with another one. Again, I had 3 here. I think we have 3 perfect ones actually. All right, so you have a little bit of hanging egg white. You can get rid of that. And then just, again, dry it off a little bit. You don't want a wet poached egg. You want to make sure that they're nice and dry. So I actually dry it onto an impeccably clean towel. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our, let me turn this a little bit. All right, we're going to garnish this plate a little bit. I have some beautiful garden cherry tomatoes from my garden outside. We have the golden teardrop tomatoes. We have the red cherry tomatoes here as well. I'm going to put that with a little bit of basil leaves from my garden as well. All right, we're also going to take it, we're going to put an avocado sliced on there. We turn that a little bit so you can see that. There we go. I'm going to peel this avocado. This avocado's not wanting to peel today. That's all right, we'll grab it. There we go. I need a knife. So again, last minute, you want to peel that avocado last minute so that it doesn't oxidize on you, right? And then, so again, very, very thin slices, not going all the way through. I'm going all the way down, but I'm not going all the way to the top. I'm leaving a little bit like a hinge on there. Did 8 slices on that small little avocado. Go ahead and fan that out a little bit. Place that on my plate. Really make those lacto-ovo vegetarians super, super happy, right? And then I want to grab a nice large spoon, and I'm going to take some of my hollandaise sauce, my perfect hollandaise sauce here. Mix that up. See that? And then I'm going to nappe that right over the top. Remember nappe is that term that we learned in class, right? So nappe right on top. So nappe right on top. It has to be a little bit thick when you're using it for this particular dish. And now you have the eggs Benedict with bagels and wilted spinach leaves, right? So bon appetit. You guys have a great afternoon, and right, you can cut that.